What's up, everybody, in our Emerald to Diamond group? It's Dave here. Just got done with my workout for the day in my new home gym, which I'm affectionately referring to as the pain box, because it's a garage and it's just kind of a big box. I don't have all my equipment. I need to get way more equipment, but a little bit of equipment and a lot of know-how, and I've managed to get a good workout in. I also don't have Wi-Fi out there yet because I can't quite pull it all the way out there, but it's all a work in progress, right? Today we are talking about time management. Hopefully you took the time to listen to that call from Craig Holiday. That call is really important on a number of different levels. On a very personal level, it's important to me because I worked with Craig one-on-one for about 2 years, and during that time my business grew tremendously and my life changed radically. He taught me how to do this business and how to really be massively successful in this business, okay? For those of you who don't know who I am, I practiced law for 10 years, got involved with Beachbody around my 8.5-year time mark of practicing law, built this business for about 1.5 years and was able to, combined with my ex-wife Monica's income, bag that job when they fired me and not have to go and dig and find another law job. And I'm a retired lawyer now. I do this full time and have made a couple $1 million doing it. So I tell you that not to brag, but I tell you that because the reason I was attracted to Craig was because Craig had what I wanted. And I knew that if I wanted something, I wasn't going to listen to some clown who had never done what I wanted to do. I needed to go find somebody who had what I wanted and who had done it the way that I wanted to do it. That guy was Craig. And the reason I'm telling you that story is because I'm that guy too, and so is Greg and Caroline and Tamara and Scott and Christine. We've done the things that you want to do. So feel free to disregard our advice, but understand that you do so at your own peril. If you don't want to make a couple $1 million in this business, then you can just turn the video off now and ignore what I'm saying. But if you do, I suggest you listen. Okay? And that's exactly what Craig said to me when I started working with him in 2011 or 12, whenever it was. All right? So let's talk about time management. Number one, be where you are. Craig talked about this. Be where you are. Multitasking is bullshit. Let me just tell you, multitasking is absolute bullshit. And I'm sorry if that language offends anybody. I'm a little bit of an abrupt person. But that is the death of productivity, is multitasking. Your brain can simply not handle more than one thing at once. If you're doing your dishes while you're listening to this video right now, then you may as well turn it off and just do your dishes, because you're not going to pick up the information that I'm giving you, okay? Why? You notice, you'll see the flow of this. When I listened to Craig's call today, I took notes, because that's what you should be doing, okay? So, be where you are. Don't multitask. He talks about, important family stuff too. When you're with your kids, there's nothing that annoys me more than I go out to dinner and I look and the table next to me, everybody's on their phone. What the hell is more important than your family right now? My kids pull out their phones at dinner. They know they're going to go in my pocket, okay? Be where you are in all of your life, but in particular with this business. If you can dedicate a focused hour where there's no other nonsense going on every single day to this business and simply be where you are and be laser focused on whatever the activity is that you're doing for your business that day, you can win on a massive level, okay? So number one, be where you are. Number two, priorities. Now Craig talked about this and I like what he talked about too. Basically what he's saying is match your priorities with your activity. And so he says, look, fold a piece of paper in half. On one half, write down your priorities, and on the other half, write down what you do with your day. Okay? Now, that's a really sobering thing for people, and I do suggest that you do that. That is a really good exercise. I compare it to my calendar. I just look at my calendar, and I go, okay, am I booking appointments? Right now it's summer, and the kids are out of school for another week, but they're in school next week. So if I start looking at my calendar, and I notice that I am booking appointments after 3 o'clock, and we have shared custody now, so I don't have them every week, but on the weeks that I have my kids, if I'm booking appointments after 3 o'clock, which is when they get out of school, they'll get home here about 3:15, 3:25, something like that. If I'm booking appointments at that time, my priorities are not aligned with my activities because my kids are my number one priority. Okay, so I suggest you do that. But here's another little exercise that I suggest you do. Take another piece of paper and quarter it, okay? So that you have 4 boxes just like this. Then write physical, emotional, spiritual, and wealth/learning or growth, okay? In each of these areas, and I'll describe them in a second, I want you to list 3, not 5, not 10, 3 priorities. No more than 3 priorities, okay? Please. You just can't do more than that because that is going to total you 12. And even that, I'm going to have you narrow down further. So in your physical category, that one's pretty obvious, okay? Being a product of the product, we've talked about that. That's super important. You all know that. What are your physical priorities right now? Is it, is it nutrition? Is it your workouts? Is it some combination? Is it a race? What's up here? And really try and rank them from like 1 to most important to 3 being the least important of your top 3. Emotional. Emotional is really your relationship with other people, okay? What emotional goals do you have? Do you have a spouse? Do you have a significant other? Are you in some sort of relationship? Do you want to be in a relationship? Do you need to connect with friends? What is it that is going to be important to you emotionally? And again, 1, 2, 3. What are the top 3 things? Spiritual. Spiritual is your relationship with yourself, okay? Do you want to start meditating? Do you need to go to church more often? Do you need to strengthen your relationship with God if that's part of your belief system? What is it in this category that is important to you? Again, 1, 2, 3. But think about these 2 as emotional is more your relationship and your connection with other people. Spiritual is your connection with yourself, okay? Wealth and learning. This is where you're going to put your Beachbody stuff, okay? So everybody should probably right now have number 1 be diamond. Because that's your number 1 priority right now. That's your number 1 priority right now. I encourage you to list 2 and 3. Now, you've now got your priorities. And emotional too, I would include like kids up here. That's kind of where your kids would go, at least in my little world here. Take your top 3 in each category. Then really sit down and think about them. Okay, sit down and think about them. What are the 5 or 6 most important ones? And over the course of the next 30 days, just make sure that your calendar matches up with those top 5 or 6 priorities. Please don't pick a whole lot more than that. And even 6 is a lot, okay? When you break them down into these categories, you're going to see 3 in each category, but that means 12. That's a lot to try and do in the next 30 to 45 days. I'm just trying to get you to condition yourself to focus on matching your priorities with your calendar. That's what time management is. Here's what I know. Important shit gets done. Non-important stuff doesn't. It's just that simple. If watching Game of Thrones is the most important thing to you, that's what you'll do. And some of you, that's what you're doing. You're sitting on Netflix or whatever, watching TV all day. Why? Because, in all honesty, that is your priority. I don't even know where that fits in my little diagram here. But that's what is important to you. How do I know that? Because that's where you're spending your time. And we spend our time, subconsciously, we spend our time on our priorities. If your priority is watching TV, that's probably not going to happen for you. I'm just here to tell you that. Craig talked about playing softball. For me, it was golf. He was playing softball 12 hours a week, if you listen to his call. I was playing golf or practicing golf 12 to 15 hours a week. And he looked me in the face and said, dude, who the hell do you think you are? You have simply not earned the right to do that. Now, guess what? I could do that if I want to. I don't. I don't even play golf anymore. Why? I don't care. Because it doesn't fall in here. I don't have time for it anymore. I have no interest in it. Because it's not part of this. Okay? So, again, priorities matched up to your calendar. Let's talk about the calendar really quickly. One of the things that Craig, always pissed Craig off, because I am not a paper calendar person. When I started practicing law, as soon as I got in there, they were like, look, here's how we schedule everything. And it was all electronic. And my secretary put stuff on my calendar. Everything was electronic. And I would occasionally have her print out a week, calendar. And that's what I would do for Craig, is I finally just ended up printing it out. and making it all color-coded and pretty the way he wanted it to be. But it always annoyed him that I used an electronic calendar. But, you know, Craig is like 70, so, you know, and I'm not. I'm 43. So I use my iPhone and Google Calendar and my computer, and they all sync together, and I always have it with me. That's what I like about it. I don't care what you use, okay? But you must use a calendar. Absolutely must be using a calendar. The more you schedule your life, the better off you'll be. Craig talked about this too. Busy people get stuff done. Busy people get stuff done. When I was practicing law, this used to happen to me all the time. I'd have partners who would come in and they would be like, well, are you real busy? Yes, I'm super busy. Great, here's a huge project. Why? Because they knew I'd get it done. Because I was a busy person. Because busy people get stuff done. If you're not busy, what are you doing? You're hitting refresh on the news feed. You're farting around on Netflix. You're wasting time, and you don't have time if this is one of your top priorities. The other piece of advice, create every day. This is fantastic. That is such a gem of wisdom. Just every single day, create something. Some new relationship. Something new that you build every single day. And if you show up and you do that consistently, whatever your thing is, some people need to expand their contact list. Create every day. Some people have lots of contact, but they're not inviting. Create every day. Some people have lots of contacts and they're inviting, but they're not following up. Create every day. You need to look at your business and figure out what you need to create every day and then get busy creating it. Okay, so that's our post today for the Emerald to Diamond group. Again, I hope you'll dial in with this. I hope you'll take it seriously. I hope you'll listen not just to me, but to all of the leaders in this group, because we've had a tremendous amount of success in this business, and we can show you how to do it if you're willing to follow the simple activities that we give to you. All right, guys, that's it for me. I'm going to take a shower because I'm beat.